We will now start the last session. And in this session, we will try to introduce the state-of-the-art technologies related to environmental management by Japanese companies, as well as services and technologies that can contribute to developing nations' development. And we'll have pitches from the companies. 16 companies will talk about their technologies and services in the area of environment. And they will each have 7 minutes for the presentation as well as their questions and answers. So once you hit the 7-minute point, we will move on to the presentation of the next company. And the order will be Greenphard Energy, number 1. Number 2, AAKEL Technologies. Number 3, GAIA Vision. Number 4, MINEBEAMITSUMI. Number 5, Sagri. Number 6, SPECTEE. Number 7, Hydro Technology Institute Company Limited. Number 8, TAKINO Filter Inc. And number 9, RC Solutions. Number 10, SE Corp. 11, EF Polymer. And number 12, INVAX. Number 13, Dobokuchishitsu Company Limited. Number 14, SPEC. Number 15, Kraft of Asia Paperboard and Packaging. And number 16, SHIBATA Industrial. Now, number 2, number 4, number 11, and number 15 will be presenting online for your information. And with that said, we will turn to Greenphard Energy. So please come up front and present.
So, hello everyone, this is Rishabh from Greenphard Energy. And today, thank you JCCI for providing an opportunity to share what Greenphard does. So, going on, we are a startup in energy tech, and quickly going through some data actually. So, as you see, a huge amount of data, energy and power is used every year, and Japan comes in like top 5 of them. So it's quite exciting given the size and also the population itself. Now coming to the energy division itself, like more and more transition to a clean energy is being focused on. And as you see that in 5 years, in 2028, there is a 13% increase in variable renewable energy transition. So, and as you see, the variable energy would be like from offshore or solar or these kind of things. So these comes with some of the social problems which we need to tackle. So coming to some social problems, as we are transitioning more and more to variable renewable energy, so that comes with power imbalance, because the demand side and supply side have to like coordinate properly so that all the energy is used in case of excess energy production. And also this also results in power cost rising in case there is a deficit and urgent energy need to be produced. And if we use fossil base, then obviously decarbonization is a problem. So we need to tackle all of these problems. And Greenphard aims to actually solve these problems. So how do we solve these problems, for example? So coming to what we do is we transform cities into virtual batteries, and this generates revenue for the people who use our service, and on top of that contribute to the environment as well. So focus on the virtual batteries, and how we achieve that is basically we convert your facilities into something compatible with IoT, and so using machine learning and cutting edge IoT, we control your facilities so that we can achieve the promises we made, and also we do demand response. This will generate the revenue for you guys. So coming to how this happens. So if you come to us with some facility, what we do is we digitize it. Then after we digitize, we can actually do real-time control, and which will result in like 10 to 25% of energy saving. In this case of example where we use one industrial refrigerator, it's around 20%. And Since we also do something called demand response, by participating in energy trading market, you can actually generate more revenue. And from energy saving itself, actually, you can generate something called a CO2 credit, which you can use for other kinds of trading. And also it has an environmental impact as such, so quite lucrative for governments as well. So now, who can work with us? So for example, buildings, hotels, and offices in the city, and even if you're not in the city, somewhere far away in the remote, for example, warehouses and factories somewhere in Shiga or Kyoto, or something like shopping malls, all of us, all of you guys can work together with Greenphard Energy. And what we do is we take your facility, we adapt it such that it acts as a virtual battery. Again, I'll be explaining what is a virtual battery later on, but yeah, keep a note to this point. So if you are any one of these guys, then please come and contact us. So now, how do we do it? So we have a solution called Greenphard Intelligent IoT. So basically, when you come to us with your facility, we transform your facility. So that includes transformation of your hardware as well, and making the software component for it. And using machine learning and AI, we optimally control your resources, which will result in energy saving. And also, since we do demand response, we can, by participating in energy trading market, can generate more revenue for you guys. So now, if you see this this solution, what it does, it connects the energy demand side and supply side at the same time. So for supply side, what we provide is a demand resource, something called, which is your facilities energy usage, for example. And for demand side, what we do is we save your energy, and using the demand DR resource itself, we participate in energy trading. I'm repeating again. So generating the revenue. So we connect both the supply and demand side for more efficient energy usage. And now coming to what do we mean by virtual batteries itself. So since we have to keep a balance between demand and supply side, but due to variable energy production, for example, in case when there is a energy excess, we can use these resources, so warehouses, for example, or air conditioners, and store the energy, create an effect of storing the energy essentially. And then later on we can reuse it when there is a deficit from the supply side. And in future, since we'll be using more and more renewable energy, so this need for these virtual batteries will become more and more important. So since we have a virtual battery now, virtual battery, or so-called your facility, and then by participating in electricity market using our real-time IoT control technology, we can respond to the request from electricity market and generate more revenue for you guys. So in case of what happens to your facility, basically it becomes from cost source. So you can generate revenue from energy saving from 10 to 25%, and also DR, like responding to demand resource. So in case of food factory, you can save, literally, I'm not joking, no double counting here, like more than $1 million you can actually save. And then coming, what happens to the environment itself? So you are saving energy, you are helping the supply side to tackle the energy imbalances. So CO2 itself is reduced, so you are contributing to environment. And who are our clients? So all of these are our clients. So basically almost everything. And by target 2028, we plan to have 1,000 mega of the resource. And these are the social problems you can help us solve by being collaborating with us. So more renewable energy, revenue creation, and CO2 decrease. So what we exactly do here? So we are here, basically Greenphard Energy here is to make change in how world uses energy, how all of you use energy. And well, coming back to the point again, the cities into virtual batteries. So that's what we mean by that. So Greenphard Energy will help you provide revenue. And yes, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that presentation. Let's now move on to AAKEL Technologies.
Hello and good afternoon to everyone. I am Arianna from AAKEL Technologies, and today I will introduce you to our product, eFleet. A little glimpse on our company. AAKEL Technologies has been founded by our CEO Ryoji Miyawaki in August 2018 and is located in Fukuoka with also an office in Tokyo. As we know, the intention of going towards carbon neutrality is happening worldwide, and one way to reach it is to shift to the EVs. If you see the slide, the graph, we understand that Japan, compared to other countries in the world, in the adoption of EVs is taking a little bit more of time. So in around 10 years, it should reach the levels that now other countries in the world, such as Europe and America, are reaching in these recent years. When talking about EV charging, there are some general restrictions to take into consideration. Starting from charging time. If you want your EV to cover around 100 kilometers, a normal charger would need from 3 to 6 hours, and a fast charger from 20 to 30 minutes. Another restriction would be chargers and the power contracts. So if you want to increase the output of electricity, you need to shorten the charging time. So you need to consider the building electrical constraints, which means either you update electrical facilities or you adjust the power contract amounts. And another restriction is clean energy. We do want to charge our EVs with renewable energy. But the problem of renewable energy is that it is weather dependent and is generated in limited hours. Moving to Japan, Japan is a country with more solar power than wind power. This means that during the daylight, there is a huge accumulation of renewable energy. As you can understand from the graph, the renewable energy supply creates a huge gap with the electricity demand. What a waste. So if we want to avoid waste of energy and to prevent also blackouts, at the moment, we are stopping the accumulation of this solar power. So there is a need to find balance between demand and supply. And that's why we want to create a solution to effectively use this energy. We can move the perspective to the electricity wholesale market. As you can see, the prices are higher when there is a higher consumption of electricity, and very low, close to 0 yen during the daylight. That's why renewable energy plays an important role. So what we tend to do is usually to, we tend to think to match supply with demand. But in this case, we want to do the opposite. We want demand to match the renewable energy supply. And to control demand, we need elements such as heat, hydrogen, and EVs. So to effectively use renewable energy, we need to focus on the sector coupling. And AAKEL is focusing on this sector and is developing solutions in it. Our solution is e-fleet. With e-fleet, we can create demand during the excess of renewable energy. And that's why we want the demand to match the supply and not the opposite, because the renewable energy supply is created only in those limited hours. Our service, AAKEL e-fleet, is a software that gives you a solution when charging and managing EVs. There are different elements involved, such as dynamic pricing. You can create a schedule through the AI. You can charge automatically at the times you prefer, and it is environmentally friendly and cost-effective. More in detail, e-fleet consists in a vehicle IoT device that we put into the EV. This device then reads the state of charge and GPS location information of the EV and sends the data to the cloud. The cloud is then connected to the EMS controller, Energy Management System. The EMS controls the flow of energy and communicates to the charger and the EV. If we focus then on the right side of the slide, more in detail, we have a part of the EMS. So the energy management system uses a mathematical algorithm and different elements to give you then the best time to charge at the lowest price. In this slide, you can see different companies, partners we work with, such as Chubu Electric Power and Mitsubishi Auto Leasing. And in this last slide, we have some of our achievements, such as the APAC Cleantech 25 we entered in 2022, and the New Energy Award 2023 we just got last month. Thank you very much for your attention, and if you have any questions, please feel free to write us at pr@aakel.co.jp. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation.
So next, we would like to hear from GAIA Vision.
Hello, everyone. My name is Satoru, co-founder of GAIA Vision. So our goal is to achieve the adaptation to the climate change. Unless the society will achieve the net zero, the temperature will increase in the future, and that leading to the increase in the disaster risks as well. So we are trying to mitigate those risks as much as possible. Our core technology is a global flat simulation technologies. We are combining this technology and other climate simulation technologies to do three businesses. First, a climate risk assessment. Second, a real-time flood prediction. And third, the simulation of the effectiveness of the flood controls. First of all, climate risk analysis. By using those solutions, you can analyze flood risks anywhere in the world. This solution is used by private sectors as well as the local governments who would like to understand the flood risks to develop plans for the risk mitigation. One of our features of this technology is capability of future predictions. So, for example, at some location, the flood risks might not so high at this point, but it could be different in the future. Sorry. So, by using our technologies, you can understand not just current risks, but also future risks considering the climate change, including the 1.5 degrees Celsius increases and 2 degree and the 4.0 degrees Celsius increase in the world. And also you can understand those risks in a quantitative way. It means the financial impact. And our strength is the capability of high resolution simulations. Compared to existing technology, our simulation data is higher resolutions. In some cases, existing data might be not sufficient to develop the future plans as well as convince people to understand those risks. And our solution is listed in a national guideline. So there is a national guideline to promote private sectors to understand those physical risks. And our solution is listed in this guideline as one of the products that can simulate future climate change. Because of this guideline, there are increasing customers who use our solution. So, for example, the NEC announced the information disclosure report last year. In this report, they mentioned by using GAIA Vision solutions, they understand the future risks at the factory in the Thailand, and they identify what has to be done to these factories. The second, real-time prediction. So, using this solution, you can understand the future flood risk in 1.5 days ahead. So let's see the video. At this point, flood will happens at this red point. This is where the huge disaster happened in a couple of years ago, and the flood will coming out to the river. So by using our solution, the owner of this infrastructure can understand the risk 1 day beforehand, so they could make some controls to the point. And I would like to show you other demonstration. Okay. This is a demonstration movie for how our solution can be used. So what we try to demonstrate here is when the huge rain is coming, how the local government can handle it. When the huge rain is coming, the people at the local government office wait at the office, and even if the huge rain alert is open, but it's very difficult to make decision for evacuation orders. Especially in the midnight, it's getting more difficult. By using our solution, there's the email notification which suggests in 18 hours later, the flood will happen at a specific point. By using our solution, you can see the what extent and the depths in this map, and by seeing this, you can identify which area and when the danger will happen. So based on those information, the people can make decision hey, okay, it's gonna be okay until this morning, so let's get the evacuation order at daybreaks. So finally, I would like to explain how our solution is innovative compared to other solutions. So basically, existing solution is more of a river level monitoring using the river level sensors. But using our solution, you can identify the flood inundation as well. So after the flood happens, the when and where the flood will occur, and how to make the evacuation orders. So thank you very much.
ご発表ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much. Moving on to MINEBEAMITSUMI.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ashok, and I am from MINEBEAMITSUMI. MINEBEAMITSUMI is a global manufacturing company. It manufactures machineries and electronic components. But today I am going to introduce you the different business segment, that is smart lighting solutions and smart city solutions. Let me share the screen, sorry. Okay. Firstly, I would like to go through the overview of our smart lighting solution. The smart street light, as you can see in the slide, this is the core technology, the main product that our customer use to replace their conventional street lights. And in this street light, it is integrated with IoT technology and our original technologies that are backlight technology or power unit technology, die casting technology, and also integrated well with wireless technology. And with the help of our existing semiconductor technology, we also have developed sensors and IoT product that will support our smart city solutions. And to summarize our technology, smart city, smart lighting technology, I have summarized this in 5 main features. The first is efficient lighting. Here, our street lights can emit a very uniform and efficient lighting, and it can make the road very optimum brightness. And then also we can control the lamps for dimming controls. The second is the wireless technology. Each street light is connected to the internet by the mesh wireless network, which is free broad wireless band that can be used freely by the city. And the third one will be the centralized management. In here, all the devices that are connected to the internet can be monitored and controlled by the same CMS. CMS means the Central Management System. And the fourth one will be the energy saving and GHG emission reduction. By dimming control of the lamps, we would be able to save excessive, remarkable amount of electricity, and that will contribute in reduction of CO2 emission reduction. And lastly, expandability. This is one of the important features of our smart lighting. As you can see in the second point, wireless technology, we can add new devices, sensor devices, and IoT devices in the same network to expand our solution to make the city actually smart. Going to the next slide. This is the overview of our wireless technology. We adopt 6-LoWPAN mesh network wireless technology. Here, each device, each streetlight is connected to each other, and each device can be directly monitored and controlled from our CMS through the cloud server. In this way, we can also add different kinds of sensor devices like rain gauze, environment sensors, parking sensors in the same network without building up another network. And in this way, the city will have benefit of utilizing the same wireless platform to expand their solutions to the residents. Going to the next slide. And as I mentioned, we can also reduce extensive amount of power consumption by using our street lights. In compared to the conventional mercury lamps, if we replace them, for example, 1,000 mercury lamps by our smart street lights, we would be able to save about 26.9 million in 1 year. And that would be equivalent to about 646 tons of CO2 emission reduction. So this is just by using the dimming features that is integrated with our smart street lights. And then going to next slide. And this is a use case of dimming in Japan, one of the cities. It's called Nasushiyobara City. They adopted our smart street lights and operating our smart street lights with multiple environment sensors. And here they are using this dimming features to save electricity. And one of the distinct use of these features is during the earthquake in Japan in 2022, when the central government requested each regional government to reduce the consumption of electricity. The city of Nasushiyobara could immediately respond to that request by applying the dimming schedule to their smart streetlights. The next is, this is also the one of the important features called expandability for smart and open cities. In the street lights network created by the street lights, we can add different sensors and IoT devices to create solutions for the city or for the residents in the sectors of weather and environment, disaster preparedness, security, traffic, and urban planning. So we can utilize the same wireless network platform to expand the solution in different sectors that is required for the city to make the city really a smart city. Going to the next slide. From now on, I'm going to introduce some of the concept and the use cases of the smart city solutions by MINEBEAMITSUMI. Here, this is one of the example of IoT devices and the sensor called environment sensor unit that is developed by our company. It is a very small unit that can be installed in the street light. And as you can see, this can also a small unit, but it can sense about 8 different types of parameters. And it can be installed easily. So by using this one, we can generate or make different solutions in the sectors of weather and environment and disaster preparedness. And here is one of the use case of this environment sensor with the camera. And this solution has been implemented in Osaka Prefecture in the mountainous region where they experience heavy rainfall and heavy snowfall and road icing, and due to that they have lots of accidents happen. So by implementing this solution, they can monitor the condition of the road by the camera and also check and monitor the weather data, weather parameters such as temperature, air pressures and humidity, etc., and the wind speed. In this way, the prefecture office can control the traffic volume or the traffic direction to prevent the road accidents. So this
Excuse
is
me, time
still
is
undergoing.
already up, so can you please wrap it up, please?
Okay, yes. So, we have a few more slides to show you the use cases, but I'm going to skip to the last. This is the map shows few countries that we have lots of smart city solution projects implemented. And lastly, if you have any question, please feel free to contact me. I'm sorry about the time. Yeah. And thank you very much for listening my presentation.
Thank you for the presentation. Next from Sagri, please.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming today. My name is Daniel, and I would like to extend my thanks to JCCI for providing me the time to explain about our company. We are Sagri. We are a agriculture/climate tech from Gifu University based in Japan. Let's just skip this part. And in Sagri, we have been actually working with a lot of central and local government players such as MAF, and also we have undertaken a lot of projects from JICA. For example, in 2021, we had a project with India, and also this year, we are also selected for a project in Peru. So not only in the domestic market, we have go beyond a lot of different continents such as South America, Africa, and also Asia. Just a little bit of our accomplishment. 3 months ago, we had the opportunity to present our track record in COP28 in Dubai. So yeah, let me just explain about our technology. Is this worth to be the demonstration of our platform? So in general, using our satellite, we are able to automatically create a blocking using our technology called AI Polygon. And using this kind of information, we are able to provide several information about the soil analysis, such as the pH, CC, total carbon, etc. And using this data, we are able to also provide some kind of advice to the farmers to optimize their fertilizer usage. So yeah, our company has two pillars of technology. The first one is AI Polygon, which automatically detect the farmland boundaries. And the second one is a satellite-based soil analysis with the accuracy of about 85%. So in a general, in the traditional sense, whenever you want to do like a soil analysis, what you have to do is you take a soil sample and then send it to a laboratorium. And that process itself takes about 2 to 3 weeks. And also the cost for one sample is about $50, which is pretty expensive for a lot of farmers. However, in Sagri, we can provide a alternative in which the time consumed from 2 weeks can be reduced to just the matter of 2 or 3 days. Meanwhile, the price itself is only about $5 per 1 hectare. And on the right side here, we are providing 12 different parameters, which is micronutrients and macronutrients, which is very useful for a lot of farmers. Oh, in addition to that, we actually have been working together with JICA, where we can also detect water. And the mission for this project is, in fact, to reduce the amount of methane produced during the rice cultivation. These are the type of the crops that we are able to analyze, such as rice, cassava, sugarcane, etc. And as I previously mentioned, so using the data, we are able to provide some kind of advisory to the farmers to optimize their fertilizer. So usually if you over apply a fertilizer, it actually kind of like become counterintuitive, in which it will increase the amount of greenhouse gas emission, or what's so-called the GHG, in the form of N2O. So we are trying to reduce this agent of GHG. And at the same time, by reducing the GHG, we are also able to convert them into cash. How do we do that? Well, we have been working together with a lot of international certifiers such as Vera or Gold Standard, where we claim those reduced GHG into a carbon credit, and then we sell them to companies such as the one in Japan, the US, or even in the US. So this is the summary of what we can do. The first one is that we can provide a quicker and cheaper soil analysis. Second is a chemical fertilizer optimization. And by doing so, we can also reduce the cost of the fertilizer usage, which can lead into a reduction of the GHG emission. And of course, by reducing this GHG, we can claim those as a carbon credit, which can serve as an additional income for the farmers. Yeah, so this is briefly the business model that we provide. As I previously mentioned, it's around $5 to $7 per 1 hectare. And these are the parameters that we provide. And at the same time, we also provide a crop monitoring. And this is the carbon credit generation, where we also split the revenue by 50-50 with our local partners. And lastly, this is just the proof of concept that we did in Thailand, where we collaborated with the local university. So the activities involve the digital mapping, soil analysis, and also fertilizer optimization. And we found out that we are able to reduce 10% of the chemical fertilizer usage, while also not impacting the yield. And hence, it's suffice to say that Sagri is able to combat the climate change. But yeah, I think that's the end of the presentation for today. Thank you for listening. And if you're interested, feel free to talk with me later on. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Next, SPECTEE, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. So my name is Satoshi from SPECTEE. Our product is not directly related to the environment, but we are providing the disaster management information system. So I will make a brief presentation today. So in 2011, so as you know, in this year we had a huge earthquake, so Great Eastern Japan earthquake, and we had a huge earthquake followed by the big tsunami and the nuclear power plant accident. So we can say that this was a really big tragedy for all the Japanese. Yes, but this problem is not limited to Japan. So worldwide, economic loss caused by natural disaster is over $300 billion in 2022. So this is a really, really big issue for all humankind. Then the threat is growing. So this is the economic loss from since 1970, but the amount of the loss is increasing. Then SPECTEE. So our founder established this company in 2011 to tackle with these problems. And we are fighting disasters utilizing advanced technologies like AI. And our corporate mission is visualize the crisis. Then this is SPECTEE Pro. So today we have limited time, so I would like to show the actual product, but today we showed only image. But we are collecting information from social media and climate data and security camera, satellite data, so many data integrate and analyzed by AI and deliver the information to the customers. So we are relying on the information on social media mainly. So because recently everybody has a smartphone and most of them are using the X or Instagram and YouTube, and if something special happens in front of them, they must shoot a picture and the images, movies, and post it to the social media. So we are using AI to catch such kind of information and spot the very exact location and deliver to the customers. Then this is an example. So January 1st, we had a very big earthquake in Noto Peninsula. So we collect the information, and our customer can see what is the situation. So in the shrine, so the something is collapsing, and there is a big the utility pole is now tilted in the road, and the place is located there. So as you know, the most important thing to do first to fight disasters is to know what is happening right now. So this is a tool to know what is happening right now. And this is a SaaS service and provided on the cloud. So you don't need any initial investment. You don't need any initial development. So from today, you can start using. So this is a very easy to start solution. The another example is this, in case of the flood, so you can see the information from social media. So there's a big, under the bridge, road is underwater. And you can see the security camera images to see the water level. And we are overlapping other information like a hazard map and traffic data. So you can grasp the situation from the various perspectives. So, and in Japan, our business is now growing very rapidly. And we have about 900 clients, and maybe next month or next month, the number will reach the 1,000. So our business in Japan is very good, and our customers includes the public sector, including the local government and the central agencies, and the private sector for the and the newsrooms in the TV station and the newspaper companies. Then now we are focusing on the to know what is happening right now, but in the future, now the technology is advancing. So AI technology, telecommunication, 5G, 6G, and IoT. So in the future, we'd like to predict what will happen. And if we can do that, more lives will be saved. And so as a long goal, so we want to make the number of these deaths due to the natural disasters to 0. This is our ultimate goal. And in 2024, this year, so we will launch the SPECTEE Pro in the Philippines. So past 1 year, supported by JICA. JICA's, under the JICA's PPP program, so we have been doing the feasibility study for 1 year. And this year is next step. We will be a partner with the DICT. This is a Department of Information Communications Technology in the Philippines government. And we will give the free grant of the accounts to the 50 organizations in the Philippine governments. And we will, after 1 year, we will switch from free grant to paid. So that means that we will launch the business by ourselves. Then past 1 year, we visited so many places in the Philippines, but unfortunately, the information is not sufficient. So young people in the disaster management, the room in the local governments, there's no information, so they are searching for the information on using their own smartphone. So this is very pity. And every time I introduced the SPECTEE Pro to them, so everybody's response was, this is what we needed. So introducing this to the Philippines, and after that, so this is not officially announced, but we will start the feasibility study in the Thailand and Vietnam, supported by the one central agency of the Japanese government. So after Philippines, we would like to expand this service to other ASEAN countries and Asian countries. Yeah. So this is it. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you for that presentation. Let's move on to Hydro Technology Institute Company Limited.
Hello everyone, my name is Makiko Iguchi from Hydro Technology Institute. Today I'd like to talk about video-based river flow meter, Hydro STIV. Thank you. The background is millions of people face flood risk worldwide, and here in Japan we suffer from flood disaster every year, and it is getting severe due to climate change. So we construct dam reservoir or strengthen dam river embankment. To do such plan, river discharge data is essential. In other words, it is important to know how much water this river can flow downstream. So, how to measure discharge? Current meter and ADCP is widely used. But as you can see, they put in the instrument in the water, so they cannot be used during the flood. It is dangerous to go to the river, or these equipment might be swept away or damaged. So how to measure discharge during a flood? The answer is Hydro STIV. Hydro STIV is flow velocity measurement system using video image. Because it is using video image, you don't need to go to river during a flood. It is safety, right? Other features are high accuracy and versatile. Let's see how accuracy it is. The top here shows the comparison with Hydro SIV and current meter. The measurement difference is 1.4%. Bottom figure shows the comparison with ADCP. The measurement difference is 2.6%. And we measured river discharge at many sites and found out the difference between conventional measurement and Hydro SIV is less than 5%. So we can say it has high accuracy. Let's move on. Versatile. Hydro SIV is available for a variety of situations. How about at night? With ultra high sensitive camera or far infrared camera, they catch the river surface. And just right, lights also make river surface visible. And we can measure the river discharge at night. How about during heavy rainfall? Yes, we can measure the river rainfall during night, during heavy rain. We measure the river discharge during 80 millimeter rainfall. 80 millimeter rainfall is very, very heavy rainfall, like this picture. We get soaked soon, even with umbrella. So Hydro SIV can be used under severe situation. we use drone camera, we can measure the discharge of river in mountainous area or dangerous area, and we take a river discharge of wide river at one shoot. Let me introduce some products. First one is hydrostatic real time. If you want to monitor river discharge continuously, it is convenient. This system calculates discharge every 10 minutes, and you can see the result in the office, even everywhere on the smartphone. If you want to know the result on-site, hydrostatic portable is convenient. You take a video with a camera equipped with portable and get the result in 1 minute. This hydrostatic SDIV portable also connected with drone. Finally, I'd like to show you how widely it is used. Hydrostatic is already adopted in many countries like USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, France, England, Korea, Vietnam, France, or many countries. So we can recommend it with confidence. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that presentation. Let's now move on to TAKINO Filter Incorporated. Nice to meet you. I'm Tsujimura from TAKINO Filter. Today, I'd like to talk about our product, and I thank you for the opportunity. So, our major product is called TAKINO Filter, and we produce this and sell it. Well, the product name is the company name, so those are the same. And we're celebrating our 30th anniversary this year, and TAKINO Filter is the only product that we handle. Okay, next page, please. So first of all, what is a TAKINO filter? In the mountainous area, you might have road constructions. And also development for land development, as well as heavy rain and earthquake disaster causing erosions of slopes. So those slopes need to be worked on in terms of preventing of erosion and promoting revegetation. So the product is what you see on the left-hand side here. So this roll-type mat will be applied to the slope that you see on the right-hand side, and you will fix it to the slope, so it's easy construction to apply the filter. Next page, please. In Japan, just like the TAKINO filter, there's vegetation applied to slopes in various ways, and these are the typical methods. So hydro-seeding, as well as vegetation seats, and also vegetation mats. Next page. And so these conventional methods and the TAKINO filter are compared here for their differences. And basically the change is how the erosion is prevented. Now, first for the left-hand side, the conventional way to prevent the erosion of the slopes. A quick germination and growth turf grass is used. And by growing that grass, the roots will develop. And with that tension from the roots, the erosion can be prevented. On the other hand, for the TAKINO filter, the mat itself, just like the plant, has a functionality to prevent erosion. So therefore, once you apply the mat, it will protect against erosion. Now, unlike the conventional method, the vegetation applies after the application of the mat. In a conventional method, the turf grass is used, and in general, they come from the United States or China, and so they come from outside the country, non-indigenous. And sometimes black bass in the ponds eat up the fish that are originally inhabitant in that area and destroy the ecosystem. And it's the same with these kind of plants and vegetation. So it's a general approach now to try to not use grass from outside Japan or seeds from outside Japan for these slopes. So Takino filter is exactly that. It applies a mat, and the revegetation, in fact, comes from the local environment, the seeds that come from the surrounding environment. And so it is indigenous in the approach. Next page. So these are the issues with the conventional approach. Like I said earlier, until the turf grass grows fully, it's not protective against the slope. So therefore, before the revegetation, if there's heavy rainfall, the soil would run off, as you can see in this photograph. Next. For the Takino filter, this is the structure and the mechanism for erosion control. First of all, the structure. The Takino filter is made of polyester staple fibers woven into non-woven, or rather in non-woven fabric. You can't pull it too strongly. So in order to make it stronger, there's a polyethylene fiber net on top of it for protection. So it's a two-layer mechanism. And how does it control erosion? The polyester fiber, well, when there's raindrop, it flows on the filter. So the water doesn't permeate into the mat. And since it is polyester, it repels water. So because of that, it can maintain its width. Even with the rainfall, the impact does not get conveyed or does not travel to the soil underneath. And then this is staple fiber, and so it in fact adheses very closely with soil, and it therefore stops the soil movement. And that is how it controls or prevents erosion on the surface of the slopes. Next. We tested this for 10 minutes under 100 millimeter per hour rainfall, artificial rainfall. And on the left is what you see with the vegetation sheet. On the right, the Takino filter. And without any vegetation, this is 100 millimeters per hour, so very strong rain. And in the conventional vegetation approach, soil does flow out. But with Takino filter, you don't see any soil flowing out. Here is an actual example where we had the Takino filter right next to the vegetation sheet in real application. And this was exposed under 100 millimeters of daily precipitation. So the Takino filter in the middle and then vegetation sheets on both sides. So the vegetation sheet for that part, rain penetrated into the soil and then it caused a landslide. But for the Takino filter, there was not a lot of water that penetrated into the soil and therefore withstood the rain. That's what I'm showing in this example. Next page. These are the types of soils where Takino filter is used often. Soil that easily erodes, sandy soil, red clay, and volcanic ash because they erode very easily. Now, red clay on the right top corner, this is seen in Okinawa Prefecture widely, and they use it to prevent erosion. And that concludes my explanation, and thank you so much for your kind attention.
Thank you for the presentation. Next is RC Solutions. Yes, thank you very much. I am Sekine from RC Solution. So, can I have the slides? Yes, thank you. So today, I like to talk about the possibilities of using smartphone app in distributing weather and disaster information. So app development and our initiatives overseas are some of the um, information that I would like to share with you. This is the company introduction. This is RC Solution. We have a qualification to forecast earthquake, and also we are a general information distributor of L Alert. And also in 2019, we were adopted for 2019 JICA research project. We have explored business for disaster prevention in Indonesia. At a high level, these are the pillars of our business, information provision service. We develop our smartphone app, and we are requested with app development as well. And we also do the system development, consulting, and up to operation and maintenance. So the uniqueness is having our own app. And today I'd like to talk about the safety tips. Led by a Japan Tourism Agency, we have developed this app, especially for foreigners in Japan. We are providing information in multiple languages. So once you install, you register the country and the language that you would like to use. And based on our statistics, we start to see how the app is being used. Several years ago, under COVID-19, and after that, many people started to visit Japan once again. Safety tips download went up as well. In terms of country, during COVID, many were from Japan, but we started to see increase in Taiwan and Hong Kong. It seems like there are many visitors. And also the language setting. Taiwan and Hong Kong, more than 90% Chinese is being registered. So you can see that people want to see information in their own languages. Now, I'd like to use an example of a Noto earthquake on how people are using this. This is before and after the earthquake, and the number of downloads increased significantly, but country and also language, it really did not change. So it seems like businesses and travel had continued regardless of earthquake. And these were the languages, but we looked into those people who has set Japan as their country. And many people are registering other languages, not only Japanese, English, Portuguese, etc. Which means that it seems like people are using our app based on their own language. And if we compare before and after, we saw a reduction in Japanese, and more than 90% are registered in foreign language. We do expect this tendency to continue. Foreigners registering in their own language. And this business model is not fully established, so that's a challenge for us. But still, we realize the need for such an app. Climate change is not only unique to Japan. We're seeing in other countries, especially for those countries where tourism is a major income source, perhaps providing information to tourists continues to be important. About app, not just providing information in the travel destination, but perhaps we can provide information to those people who will be visiting certain locations. So, like I said, in Indonesia, we have conducted case study, and like Japan, they are disaster-prone country, but information is not fully shared. So, North Sumatra province called BMKG. We have been working with, and they have not been able to dispel this impression that there's a lot of disaster in this location and not prevention in place. Therefore, meteorological agency equivalent of Japan is BMKG. So we decided to work with them and provide technical support. So now in Bali, they're starting to consider to take same approach. So distributing disaster information through app, this is needs that are existent in other areas as well. By offering our technology, of course, this can of course, communicate about Japan and, of course, support so that we can be of a help in disaster prevention. So that was very quick, but please, if you have any questions, please let me know through this email or through this icon. Thank you. Thank you very much for the presentation. Next is from SE Corporation.
Everyone. Thank you very much for having time for us. I'm Nomura from the SE Corporation. Yes. We are the manufacturer company of the civil materials, mainly using for the cable-based products using for the civil and the construction works. We are doing the business together with the subsidiaries, mainly for the construction and the civil fields. We have started our activity abroad in Vietnam from 2007. We have established a subsidiary together with the university in Vietnam. Also, under supporting by JICA and METI, we had some pilot project and some projects. Using our product, we try to proceed one pilot project, landslide prevention by ground anchor. So this is this project, the fit of the ODA policy to support the climate change, to support the development countries against the climate change. Our SE ground anchor have the unique feature using a nut tension system. It's easy to install and it's easy to maintenance. We have proceeded this pilot project by 3 steps: demonstration and promotional activities and business development. This is a site in Vietnam, Quang Ninh province, just front of the World Heritage, Halong Bay. This is the before and after of our project. We set this our ground anchor at the site. Together with pilot project, we try to establish the standard in Vietnam. Once we try to transport our technology from Japan to the Vietnam, we need to establish, we need to develop the market. Even we need to establish the standard. We understand it takes a long time, but maybe it takes 3-5 years and more. But without a standard, this kind of civil material cannot use in each country. That's why we have collaborated with some authority, DRVN and ITST, and the MOT, Ministry of Transportation. And finally, we can complete to issue this standard. What we like to do in Vietnam and the surrounding country is we should transport our technology to there and try to protect against natural disease and based on the climate change. And not only our products, even our partners' products. Now we are trying to bring to the Southeast Asia to grow these countries. We want to contribute to disaster prevention and land resistance in Vietnam and surrounding countries. At last, I'd like to explain one company, our subsidiary in Vietnam, consultancy company of the construction field. This is joint venture together with Hanoi University of Civil Engineering. So we are now focusing on the consultancy business and CAD operation as offshore drawing and the technology transfer from Japan to Vietnam, introduction of the highly skilled engineer from Vietnam to Japan. We like to be in a bridge, connection point, bridge of the human resource and technology between Vietnam and Japan. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you for the presentation. Let's move to EF Polymer, please. Showing the.
All right, thank you everyone for the opportunity. My name is Kunishi Moji. I'm the CEO of EF Polymer. We, EF Polymer, eco-friendly polymer, empower farmers to fight against drought and to promote sustainable agriculture. We produce world's first 100% natural and biodegradable superabsorbent polymer optimized for sustainable agriculture, and we help farmers decrease water and fertilizer uses while increasing yields. For example, in our past experiments, we were able to help farmers reduce around 40% of water, fertilizer by 20%, and then while increasing yields by 15%. And we hope to be your partner and then corporate partner for sustainable transformation, not only in agriculture, but beyond. As you know, the world population is facing drought today, and 70% of the water available for human use is used for agriculture. When those two phenomena are combined, what happens is many farmers are facing severe drought. And drought is causing 30 to 40% yield decrease for farmers, and then farmers are struggling. To tackle this challenge, our invention, we were able to develop this patented technology to produce 100% natural and biodegradable water and fertilizer retainer. The product is made of bio-waste, such as orange peels and banana peels, and those peels were disposed and then burned down so that they were emitting CO2. And 1 gram of the polymer can absorb up to 50 grams of water. And when you mix it in soil, it absorbs and releases water for 6 months, and then it's completely biodegrade in 1 year. We believe this product is economically, environmentally sustainable way, and we help farmers to retain more nutrient and then water while increasing yield. These are some of the examples that we did in Okinawa, Japan, and then also Thailand, in Thailand, cassava. This one is the pumpkin without irrigation system. Farmers were facing drought, but they were able to increase the growth level of the pumpkin. And then similarly in Thailand, they were facing severe El Nino, and then they were able to grow better cassava in the very dry condition. Why our end users use our product? Because our product is optimized for agriculture. We made this polymer only for agriculture and used for agriculture first, and not damaging the farm at all. It's 100% organic and natural. So we assure that our users do not have to worry about contamination of the soil. And it's ineffective for a long time during the cultivation process and then enhancing soil environment, since our polymer will be eaten by microbe. So it enhances the microbe activities. And our vision is the circular model. With our patented technology, we can upcycle locally collected bio waste to help local farmers. Where we are taking out some of the materials contained in the peels of citrus, and our knowledge is a lot of it is actually something around the citrus, but we would be able to diversify our raw materials. So we will be in the future able to collect the raw materials collected in the local waste and to produce our polymer, help the local farmers facing drought and the fertilizer cost rise, and then we upcycle again the residue that we can collect from the local farmers. Beyond agriculture, super absorbent polymer is actually used for many another industry as well, including sanitary pads, and then also diapers, absorption sheet, thickener for shampoos and cosmetics, and an ice pack gel. To begin the new endeavor, we recently launched in collaboration one of the large Japanese corporate to produce the ice pack, and we simply replaced the chemical polymer in the ice pack with our product, so that after you open it up, you can give it to the plant that you have in your house. Our business model is we have sales, licensing, and consulting. And as a small startup, we are focusing on the sales. We completed our Series A funding in 2023, and then we were able to raise $4 million. This is a little old data, but we were able to sell over 160 tons since 2021 and collaborating closer to 20,000 farmers operating in 5 different nations. We have headquarters in Japan and also production manufacturing site in India. And we started to sell in US, France, and Thailand as well. We have diverse members in Japan and then also in India. And then we have adding some members in the US, France, and then Thailand as well. Awards and achievement, we got the Best Minister Award. And also we're getting support from Melinda Gates Foundation. We participated in G20 Summit. And then also we recently joined COP28 as a representative of a Japanese startup as well. We also look for potential distributors, customers, and then also investors for Series B round. And then our members are always welcome. So thank you so much for the opportunity again. Then hopefully this event and the opportunity will lead to some of the great collaboration in Japan, India, and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. Next, we have INVAX Corporation, please.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sayaka Akiyama from INVAX Corporation. Thank you very much for having us today. I'm very honored to be presenting among many other amazing companies. But without further ado, I'll just get into what we do. I'll start with a question. Have you heard about soil cement before? All right, I'll explain. Oh, okay, doesn't. I'll explain more in comparison to concrete. Concrete is made of water, cement, and aggregates. On the other hand, soil cement is made with water, cement, and soil. We INVAX Corporation has a technique called hydration optimized soil cement. It's different from soil cement, which some of you might know, in a way that's commonly used in the ground improvement, in a way that we can stabilize the soil, solidify it like a concrete, and we can even control the strength. That's the main feature of our technique. Every day, different kinds of sediments are being disposed, such as excavated soil, disaster sediment, volcanic ash, and dredged soil. We can actually utilize all those disposed sediments and use them in building disaster prevention facilities, such as check dam, retaining wall for the roads, or filling for the residences. Let's say we are building this large check dam. This is an actual photo of a check dam built with a technique, by the way. But if, okay, so there was supposed to be a movement on this slide, but I guess it's not working, so I'll just keep going. If that check dam was to be built with a concrete, they will first need to transport, you can't really see now, but they will first need to transport out the excavated sediments to an authorized landfills and then bring in the concrete from the nearby concrete plants. However, we can skip all that transportation because we actually use the excavated sediments and blend everything on site at the construction site and produce a material that sort of replaces the concrete. We can also reduce the cement required, which produces the CO2 in production. Therefore, we can reduce CO2 emission by about 68%. Again, this is in comparison to concrete constructions. Okay. Again, we don't have to purchase an aggregates because we use the soil or sediments that's available for free. And again, because we can skip the transportation of cement or excavated sediments, we can cut down on the transportation fee and also the treatment fee of the excavated sediments at the authorized landfills. Therefore, we can reduce the cost by about 33%. Now, what we are proud of the most is that we can control the quality to suit various applications, meaning we can control the strength of a product. Let's look at right-hand side of this slide. If a technique was being used in building embankments, for example, the strength level is about 10 to 30 because we just need to improve or solidify or improve or modify the soil so that it doesn't turn into mud when immersed in water. But for check dams, on the other hand, the strength level is about 100 because it needs to be very strong to stop the landslide or debris flow. So again, we can control the quality that best suits the actual application. Here's our achievement so far. Our technique has been implemented in about 1,000 constructions of structures all over Japan, not the ground improvement, but the structures. Let's look at one specific achievement of ours. Back in 2012, there was a large record-breaking heavy rain in Kyushu. Due to this disaster, a large amount of sediments and debris were generated. So those needed to be taken care of, and obviously there needed to be immediate disaster recovery and reconstruction. What we came up with then was called a centralized plant. Because there was so much amount of debris or sediments generated from this disaster, instead of treating them at one location and another, we gathered everything, all of them to one location and created a big plant. The materials that we produced from this plant were used in building 5 large check dams in Kumamoto. So as a result, we were able to promote recycling-oriented society or circular economy, if you will, because we were able to utilize the debris or sediments generated from the disaster to build disaster prevention facilities. And also we were able to shorten the construction period, reduce the cost in comparison to concrete constructions. Lastly, we were also able to improve the quality as well because we were able to produce the soil cement in bulk. We can pretty much stabilize any kind of soils, but among many, we succeeded in stabilizing atso or kuroboku in Japanese, which are commonly found in Kyushu or Kumamoto, which has volcanic ash, and also some soils in cold region as well, Hokkaido to be specific. We recently went outside of Japan and started studying a soil called black cotton soil, which is commonly found in Australia, India, and all over Africa. We are studying the one in Kenya at the moment. It's considered to be problematic soil in civil engineering because it swells when absorbing water and it cracks like that when it's dry. At the moment, what happens in Kenya is that they need to remove all the black cotton soil completely in order to build something. But this is before an official announcement. We succeeded in stabilizing it recently, and that's very exciting. Our technique can be, we determined that our technique can be utilized in not only those three, but many other infrastructures like these. And to sum it up, our technique only requires the materials that are available locally. And I didn't have time to touch on this today, but with the so-called recipe that we can provide according to the sediment or soil that you are dealing with, the actual implementation of a technique doesn't really require any special skills, which can lead to creation of job opportunities locally. And with these two combined, we believe that we can help accomplishing a resilient community or cycle of local production for local consumption, creating a resilient community economically, socially, and most importantly, environmentally. All right, I'm sorry for rushing towards the end. My name is Sayaka Akiyama. If you have any questions, you can reach me through this email address. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation. Now let's move on to Dobokuchishitsu Company Limited. Hello, everyone. We are Dobokuchishitsu Company Limited, and my name is Okabayashi, Masahiro Okabayashi. So today I'll talk about geopolymer concrete for resilient coastal protection structures. First, about the company. The Great East Japan earthquake affected the Tohoku area, but we belong to Miyagi Prefecture, Sendai City in that Tohoku region. And we do a geological survey, geotechnical surveys, and soil testing. Today, I will talk about the geopolymer. And this is an alternative to Portland cement. Now, Portland cement, regular cement, uses an ionic bond of calcium silicate hydrate in solidification, but the geopolymer uses a covalent bond, a polycondensation of silicates or aluminosilicates. And due to this fact, it is very strong in its solidification. The advantage of using the geopolymer is that we can reduce CO2 emissions. Now, when Portland cement is produced, limestone is used as material, and 1,000 plus degrees is the temperature used for that combustion and calcination. So the CO2 out of that limestone will leak into the atmosphere. But for a geopolymer, there's no CO2 emissions during the calcination, in large volume that is, and so therefore we can reduce the amount of CO2 emissions. And in the case of Portland cement, in its calcination, the raw material contains chromium. It's a metal. And normally it's oxidized and it's harmless, but when you calcinate it at above 1000 degrees, and it generates hexavalent chromium, which is harmful. But the geopolymer does not contain hexavalent chromium out of the calcination process. I talked about how it bonds, but it's covalent bonding in solidification, which means that it does not erode due to acids. So that's very superior. That's a very superior point compared to the conventional cement. Now, more about the geopolymer. This is how we developed it. In the 1990s, well, in many geopolymers, a sodium silicate solution, which is called water glass, is used as a raw material. And initially, what we developed used water glass as well. And then in 2006, instead of water glass, we replaced it with powdered alkaline material so that it was easy to handle. And that was called Hydegas. That was the name. And then following that in 2021, considering to use this in salt stabilization material, we developed earth silica together with the Shibata Institute of Technology of Japan, and we patented this in 2021. And again, the product name is earth silica. So Hydegas and earth silica are geopolymers from our company, and from 2016 to a couple of years, we did a feasibility survey under JICA for the private sector for utilizing Japanese technologies in ODA project 2016. So the north part of Australia in the Kiribati, a Republic of Kiribati, which is facing a threat by rising water level, rising water levels. We did a survey, a feasibility survey. So this is what we had out of this: Hydegas and earth silica to make concrete. Out of these materials, we can apply seawater in its mixing. And so we can transfer just the powder material from Japan because it can be mixed with seawater when we bring it outside Japan, which is very advantageous. Now, the Republic of Kiribati is facing a rising water level, seawater level, and due to rising temperatures, their low pressures are becoming more and more damaging, and their embankments, seawalls, are being more and more eroded. And narrow roads built on top of coral reefs, which are very narrow, and both sides are sea, and so we see erosion on both sides. So to protect those embankments, we thought that we would be able to use earth silica and Hydegas for the feasibility, and that's why we did the feasibility study. And there's a photograph on the right-hand side showing how this was done in the local region. Now, changing gears, the geopolymer concrete is resistant against acid. This is an example from Japan. This is in Zao Onsen Hot Springs in Yamagata Prefecture of Japan, where the water is very strongly acidic at a pH 1.4, and we're talking about thousands of liters or a ton of liters of this acidic water, and that water goes into the river, and we in fact applied this material to the stream bed protection underneath the bridge. And then at the right top, you can see the cement concrete being compared against to the geopolymer on the right, exposed against a very sulfuric solution. And so you can see high gas concrete is very strong. Geopolymer is strong against acid. Now, another different topic here. Rocky shore denudation or sea desertification is a problem around the world, and vegetation or plants around the coastal area are decreasing. And the Ministry of Land Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism of Japan has conducted the Blue Infrastructure Expansion Project for ports that foster life. And us and Miyagi University, a Professor Kita Tsuji's class, in fact, tied up to develop a fish reef, like you see on the left-hand side. It's like cement concrete. But if it's regular cement, it will emit a lot of CO2. So we went for blue carbon. So with sea plants, we absorb a lot of that CO2. And we use geopolymer concrete that does not emit CO2 here, using earth silica. And we think that it's very effective against sea desertification and rocky shore denudation. And I think it can be applied to coastal countries around the world, and it will utilize the plants around the coastal areas to prevent CO2 emission. So, Dobokuchishitsu is making these geopolymers. I do hope that you will know this product, Earth Silica, and try it out. And with that, I thank you for your kind attention. Thank you very much for that presentation. Now, let's move on to SPEC.
Hello everyone, my name is Shio from SPEC Company Limited. Thank you so much for this opportunity introducing our product. It's soil hardening agent named Stein. So Stein is in German mean rock and stone. So just same as that name, we can make every kind's variety soil into the hard rocks and make it possible to do the construction of roads and irrigation such as water pond and waterways. Stein was developed in Japan 1975, and at the moment, first it was developed to resolve the problem of harmless heavy metals, but at the time there are also so many unpaved roads in Japan. So our founder has the idea of doing the construction using this soil and do the low cost and simple construction step. Usually we just put 10% our product into soil and do mixing and compaction, make it hard enough for the surface pavement. We use Stein as a the raw material itself is composed from ordinary Portland cement, and we add 27 different inorganic types of material inside and make it to the totally new function to them and make soil like making soil like blocks. So one function is makes each particle of soil bounding like a very hard rock using the foundation of electrical potential, and also in addition the water accelerate the hydration reaction, then using these two mechanisms and make soil like a hard blocks. So if you're thinking about the completed structure, 90% is soil and 9.5% is cement available everywhere, and we also only have 0.5% of Stein elements, which is our core technology. So with this, we can reduce the construction material from outside and reducing also the transportation, then reduce emission from heavy machinery during the construction. So comparing to using the reinforced concrete, we can reduce emission of greenhouse gas 92%. So before the construction, we will do the soil investigation to decide the best mixture amount of stein. In case of road, just excavate the original soil, spread stein, do the mixing and adjusting the water content, compaction and watering. After 3 days of curing, heavy truck can be passable. And in case of canal or waterways, we do the mixed soil and stein in advance and using the frame compacting tool or compacting machinery to do the molding and also do the curing. In this case, 3 to 7 days before the water flow can be passed. These are some cases constructed in Japan. From upper side, this is the oldest farm road constructed in 1975 and it's still being used as a farm road without any maintenance. The middle is the construction of bottom and slope of the canal, so it can be shut down all the water leakage. It also used for the waterways and spillway to prevent the water disaster when there is a heavy rain or typhoon. In recently, there are demand of dust prevention of the ground, especially for the school, and also weed prevention for the factory management land and also individual household. These are some recent projects abroad. In Cambodia, we use scheme of JICA and set the final product machinery in Cambodia and select the cement made in Cambodia and do the local manufacturing. Using this, we did a project with Ministry of Agriculture and also the fisheries. Actually, Cambodia is suffering from the shortage of construction material, and also they set the goal of by 2030 they will make the emission of GHG into 0. So we are now trying to approach in these two programs. In Sri Lanka, we may cooperate with local Ministry of Irrigations and train farmers and do the payment of small waterways by themselves instead of using the construction companies. In Africa, we have several projects in Kenya. 2 years ago, we did the construction of access road inside of the refugee camp with UN Habitat and local NGO. And for now, we're doing the joint research with university to resolve the problem of unique expansive soil, which can usually not be used for the civil works. Also in Nigeria, we collaborate with the state government and increase the payment rate of state roads. Our expected future business model is just same in the case of Cambodia. We're gonna ship stein element from Japan and procure cement produced locally, then do the final product. With the cooperation with our local partner, we're gonna secure the quality of product itself and also outcome of the construction. Then promoting this material to the both private and also public sectors. This is a summary. I would like you to just remember in your head that stein is a soil hardening agent, can be constructed road and irrigations. It can be sustained in a good condition at least 10 years, at most already 48 years. And also can be reduced the construction cost comparing to the reinforced concrete 40 to 60%, and also reduce emission of GHG for 92%. We're gonna promote the local manufacturing and also contribute to the increase of GDP at the company. So these are my contacts. If you have any questions or inquiry, please feel free to contact me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Next to continue, we have speaker from Kraft of Asia, Paperboard and Packaging Company Limited. Yes, hello, thank you. I am Shimada from Kraft of Asia. Decarbonization effort at our company is something that I would like to talk about. So Kraft of Asia, Marubeni, which is a trading firm in Japan, has 100% ownership of our company. So you can see liner board, the paper bags. We manufacture paper used for these products. So simple layout. We have 15 hectares in total, and we have lines for paper, original paper manufacturing, but at the same time, we do the cogeneration. We generate energy and power, and of course, waste as well. So per ton of paper production, CO2 emission indicated in tons, including Asia and coal. A lot of coal is being used. So per ton of paper, roughly ton of CO2 is being emitted. On the right, second from the right, renewable energy has penetrated, and paper mills at EU is about half of that. And for us, although we operate in Asia already, the GHG emission per ton of paper production is equivalent to EU, and you can see how we are achieving those through two approaches. First of all, the top line. Generally speaking, this is seen from the side. This is the production line of competitors, and our line, that is the second one. And the drying process has been shortened. So that's, of course, energy saving, and that's how we reduce power consumption. And in order to ensure quality on the surface, the starch is being applied by competitors, and because of that, drying process takes longer. However, we don't apply starch, so we add a special agent to the product itself, the paper itself. So that's how we can reduce the production line. That's one thing. And another point, like I said earlier, coal-fired is the mainstream still in Asia, including Japan, but we're not using coal at all. We're relying on natural gas. And through these two approaches, compared to other companies, we are generating and producing paper with half of the emission. I mentioned about the starch being applied on the surface, and as you know, carton boxes, 100% it could be recycled. So they are used as materials to produce carton board. And the starch on the surface has a negative impact on water. And you can see A, and J, and A is America, L is local, J is Japan. And simply put, higher the number, of course, that's negative on water. If we use this approach in Vietnam, then it will damage water. Whereas if we import from the US, then of course water is maintained cleanly. And the emission standard is very strict in Vietnam, and the standard level is 3 times. So in order to overcome this emission standard, it requires a lot of chemical agents to be applied. So producing a paper without starch is a clever way to overcome this standard. And another approach is the PV panel on the rooftop. So the floor space is 90,000 square meters, but we made it so that solar panels could be installed. So if we have all panels, then that amounts to 5 megawatts. So that's about 1/4 of the consumption of this factory. And towards 2030, clean energy, hydrogen. We are planning to use hydrogen. And in addition, we rely on old paper, used paper, so which means that there's contamination. So the boiler to use this as a fuel is installed. So not only waste, but biomass, to be more specific, rice cups. And when it comes to rice production, Vietnam is number 4 in the world. About half of them is being wasted, but we would like to take advantage of the rice cups as well. So these initiatives are underway, and in order to let the words out to the society and customer, on our label, I think we're the only ones in the world, but we indicate the emission of CO2 on our label. And this is our team, employees. This is when they had a day off, but our used carton boxes and our products can turn into our garbage or waste. By cleaning the community, we are trying to enlighten employees to improve the quality through these efforts. And this is a net zero roadmap in 2050. That is the goal of competitors, but 10 years earlier is our target. 2040, so another 16 years to go. We are to achieve net zero. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you for the presentation. Next, to continue from SHIBATA, we have the speaker.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk to you today. My name is Kazuo Yamamoto. I work for rubber manufacturing company called SHIBATA Industries. In Cambodia, drought is causing problems such as a shortage of agricultural output and domestic water supplies. This data shows the problem. Cambodia needs to secure water resources as a solution. We'd like to suggest the SHIBATA pond non-evap system. There are many countries that dig ponds, but most countries only dig holes. But in Japan, we usually not only dig, but also use lining. Furthermore, we developed anti-evaporation floating reeds as a drought countermeasure. We conducted at Japanese university to examine the effects of floating reeds on water, comparing water with reeds and water without reeds. The water in the pond without reeds has sludge. The water in the pond with a reed does not have sludge. Result: the red line shows without a reed, and the blue line shows with a reed. Using reed gets the best result. Water loss is low. The amount of chlorophyll is low. COD is low. COD is oxygen content. Especially, all results are very important. By using liners floating reeds, we can maintain clean water while preventing both evaporation and penetration. Construction is very easy. Digging, textile spreading, waterproof sheet spreading, and finally, floating reeds installation. By using textile, we can make a smooth surface. It took 3 steps to be adopted in Cambodia. Step 1, experience. We made small ponds at 3 locations to check if This product can be used in Cambodia. Step 2, we made 4 ponds at the Royal University of Agriculture in Cambodia. Waterproof seat and floating reeds. Waterproof seats only. Floating reeds only. Hole only. Of course, using waterproof seat and floating reeds got the best result for the making sure there was clean water and high water quantity. Step 3. Finally, we made full-fledged irrigation ponds. First, we selected candidate side, and then we did information session for residents. After completion, it can be used for agricultural water and for domestic water supply. Previously, in Cambodia, ponds were used without liners. Step by step, our products have been installed in new ponds. It can be used anywhere easily. We hope that our product can be adapted in all developing countries. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for the presentations. And thank you for listening. That concludes all of the technology presentations from various companies. I want to thank all the companies for your participation in presentations. With that, we have concluded the program on the green stage. Next door in the blue stage, we will have closing remarks from the organizer, JICA. So please move to that room, or if you're watching through Zoom, please reconnect and listen to the closing remark. The online exhibition continues at the Japan Platform for Redesign Sustainable Infrastructure, JPRSI, until 9th of February. Japanese environmental technologies are being introduced there, so please visit. The presentation materials and the video of today's seminar will be posted on the Eventos website where you registered. After editing, it is scheduled also to be posted on the JICA website. We will let you know when that happens. And for those who registered, we will send you a questionnaire later through email. Please respond. And if you are here, please return the simultaneous interpretation receivers at the reception. Thank you so much for participating and listening.